Lately I've been getting some requests to do pasta alla Gricia. It's a classic Roman pasta dish and it only takes 15 minutes to cook. That's what we're gonna make today, and I'm gonna break it down for you step by step so you can make it yourself. It's as simple as it gets and it only has 3 ingredients: guanciale, pecorino cheese, and good pasta. All right, let's go over each one. Guanciale. This is a cured pork product and it's really similar to pancetta. But one of the biggest differences is that guanciale has more fat than a typical pancetta. That fat is really important because it's going to contribute to a very rich sauce. Now you can use pancetta instead, but if you do, you need to get one that has a high fat to meat ratio. Pecorino. Pasta alla Gricia is a classic Roman dish, so pecorino is the cheese of choice for this. I do go into more detail about how to choose and use a pecorino cheese in my video for cacio e pepe. If you haven't already seen that video, I really recommend you watch it. The link's in the description below. Pasta. Any shape of pasta is going to work for this dish. You want a pasta that's bronze dye extruded. That bronze dye creates a rough texture on the outside of the pasta. Not only is that going to give the sauce something to adhere to, but it's going to be able to release more starch. That starch is essential to the creaminess of the sauce. Let's get into the cooking. This whole thing comes together really fast, so we want to get the pasta water on. We're going to use a little less water than we typically would, which also means a little less salt. Guanciale and pecorino are both very salty ingredients. You just need to be a little careful. After I put the pasta water on, I'm going to start prepping the guanciale. As you can see on this piece, there's a little bit too much of the lean meat on one side of the guanciale, so I don't want to use that part. I'll use that for something else. So I'm going to cut this kind of down the middle and just focus on this fattier piece that's going to have the effect that we need. If you get this whole like I did, there's a skin on the other side that you can't eat. We need to remove that. You don't want to throw it away though. That can be used in a soup. I'm going to slice these about 1/4 of an inch to about 1/3 of an inch thick, and then I'll flip it and we'll cut them into sticks. The thickness is really important here. If we did this too thin, it's going to cook up too crispy and it's just going to be salty and you're going to miss out on kind of a soft and creamy texture that we're looking for. To cook the guanciale, I need a cold pan with just a little bit of olive oil in it. We need to slowly render that fat out. So I'll put it on a medium-low heat and gently start to cook it. We only need to cook it for maybe about 2 minutes. Pay close attention because once it starts getting a little opaque, you're actually almost there. So what we're looking for is this little bit of brownness on the outside. It starts to look a little bit like bacon, but that's it. That's when you want to stop. You can also see how much fat has rendered out of those pieces. When the pasta is about 2 minutes away from being al dente according to the package, that's when you want to take some of that pasta water and put it right into the pan with the guanciale. We're going to let this simmer for a little bit, about a minute. Then when the pasta is a minute away from al dente, we're going to add it right to the pan with the sauce. If you find this video helpful, I would love it if you could give it a like. We want to give this a nice toss, get everything incorporated, get the pasta in good contact with the liquid, and it's going to start absorbing that sauce. This has all just been cooking for about a minute together, and now the pasta is at its al dente point. This is when we want to add the cheese. We want to turn the heat off and give this a little bit of a break to cool down. So that way when we add the cheese, it doesn't get like stringy. Then we add the cheese and we start really tossing this. We want to be vigorous. This is going to help emulsify that cheese into the liquid and create that creamy and rich sauce. This is ready now. Take a look at how that sauce is just coating that pasta. And just with those 3 ingredients and in just 15 minutes, the only thing left to do is just plate this up and then give it a taste. Not only is that sauce super creamy, it's also packed with umami. The texture of the guanciale is just perfect. It has a little crispness on the outside and it's soft and creamy inside. Then the whole thing comes together because of the pecorino cheese. It's bright, it's tangy, it has that nice fresh bite to it. When you have all the ingredients right and you follow those steps, it just all comes together so beautifully. If you like these kind of recipes, if you're looking for something a little bit different when it comes to Italian food, you're going to love this channel, so make sure you stick around for more videos.